Hello, I'm Pete from Risky Business. Safety inspections are a regular facet of every organization, but despite our good intentions, we so often go through the motions with little or no effect or benefit. Inspections take up valuable management time and resources, and consequently the resultant documentation needs to contain meaningful data. Often, their focus takes the form of a general wandering about throughout the facility by members of the safety committee looking for unsafe acts and unsafe conditions. We make a note to clean up aisle 5 and move on. As explained in previous videos, unsafe acts and unsafe conditions are merely a symptom that there is a problem with your management system. And while the spill in aisle 4 is dealt with and cleaned up, this is really just a remedy, and it does not stop the reoccurrence of the same unsafe act or unsafe condition. So unless you tie the two together and determine the underlying cause at the management system level, not doing so has to result in the inevitable loss-producing incident. Let's take a look at this photo. During a standard inspection of a welding facility, we see what might be termed an unsafe condition where the emergency exit door is propped open. The remedy is to close the door and remind the employees to keep the door closed unless there's an emergency. For most old-style safety thinkers, they're content with this as a solution. And because of this, they fail to understand the underlying cause. Thank you for playing. It's not so much that the door is open, it's why is the door open? That's the question. Further investigation leads us to understand that Frank, the welder, has opened the door to provide better ventilation at his workstation. This is sensible behavior. He realizes the risks of breathing welding fumes and provides himself with additional breathable air by opening the door. It's not ideal, but it works. And he's thinking. Naturally, as a diligent employer, we have done the requisite hazard assessment of both the work area and the welder's daily tasks, so we know that the regulations require direct point source ventilation immediately at the welding source. Each welding station is equipped with an excellent state-of-the-art air extraction system, but Frank's system is broken. Frank had told the maintenance guy that there was a problem, and he replied that he'd get to it when he had the time. In the meantime, Frank did the next best thing he could think of and opened the door. So you see here that we are dealing with a problem in the maintenance system, which is one of the identified management systems, and that simply closing the door and telling people to keep it closed is going to have absolutely no effect in stopping the recurrence. And the next thing we hear, of course, is supervisors saying, "They just don't listen." In Frank's case, he could have been assigned to another workstation or assigned different tasks until the repairs are completed. Was there a priority assigned to fixing Frank's ventilation system? 2 weeks later, wouldn't you know that we conduct another inspection and find the door propped open again. Now this time, we find that Mike, who's another welder working on a different shift in Frank's work area, has propped the door open. Mike explains that when he went on holiday a couple of weeks previous, the extraction system was broken. And now that he's back, nobody's told him that the repairs are being completed and that it's functioning properly. So, he just propped the door open, as he always does. Telling Mike to close the door and get back to work because the system is repaired is not the solution. We still have a management problem. What is it? What management system might be responsible for this problem? There's a lack of communication between the workers changing shifts at the same workstation. We also have a possible issue with the supervisor who should be communicating between the maintenance and the workers, but is not. Perhaps maintenance is the problem, and they're not advising that the repairs are completed. We also have an issue with Mike's pre-work procedures in checking that he has everything operational before starting work. We're looking at all these different factors to identify the system that's in error. We can then be assured of making meaningful changes to our operation and these things will not happen again. Which means that facility inspections can be a great management tool rather than a frequently required time waster with questionable results. And because this type of inspection is much more than just a safety inspection, we really should refer to it as a physical conditions audit, because it's auditing the management system. I'm Pete for Risky Business. Thanks for watching.